I never will forget those nights. I wonder if it was a dream. Remember how I made you crazy? Remember how I made you scream? I don't understand what's happened to our love. But babe, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna show you what I'm made of. I can see you. Your brown skin shining in the sun. Brown skin shining in the sun. If your skin is brown, that's really bad because that means if you're lighter skinned, then you have a sun tan slash burn possibly. And we all know that as we age, that's bad. I mean, I used to just fry myself in the sun. I did. Cooking oil, did it. Sun in my hair, did it. Nothing on my body in terms of lotion, did it. Dumb. Dumb. But you know what? It's done now. It's done now. However, I can't wait till the sun starts shining really good here in Rhode Island. That kind of rhymed, didn't it? Um, yeah, I mean, the weather's kind of strange here today. It's cloudy. It's like just about 70 degrees, which some people would classify as being perfection. I want the sun, I want the heat, I want it all. I'm just going to be selfish. Cheers everybody. Hi. Happy Sunday. What's going on? You know what's going on? I'm sitting here with you. That is what is going on. Hi to Barry. What is going on? Happy Sunday, Molly, Holly, Nancy. What is going on? Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. Yeah, for those of you who are new here, just to let you know, my name is Kiki, and I'm from this right here radio station, Kiki.fm, free in the App Store. Shush. What is free anymore? Nothing. Nothing is free unless you get it on the side of the road in the trash. And it happens. It happens. So, yes, please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Hit the like button. Oh, please hit the like button because YouTube likes when you hit the like button. I like it too. It makes me feel good. Makes me feel like, you know what? I was here for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much in advance for all of that. Yeah, there's stuff to talk about today. I know it's not Friday night. The Friday night thing hasn't happened in a minute, but I'm busy. I am busy, and I'm sure you're busy too. I should be outside doing stuff, but I want to be here with you. So hi, thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate when even if one of you shows up, you know what? I'm all good. I'm fine with it. It's great because people watch it later. So it's okay. What else is going on? I mean, the weather's strange. Oh, I will talk about how I went to Boston yesterday with my son Corey and my daughter-in-law Quincy, and so it was weather-wise, it was misty, very cloudy, overcast, and it looked like it was going to pour any second. We were walking around, but it didn't until we left, so that was really cool. And I gotta tell you, that was a great time to go to Boston. When it is not hot and sunny, that's a fabulous time to head into the city because we've been there when it's hot and sunny, and it's not very pleasant to walk around and enjoy. And we did go to the aquarium. I gotta tell you guys, I haven't been to the aquarium in years. I'm gonna say couple of decades at least. Of course, we used to take our kids there on field trips, and it was just a bunch of fun. It hasn't changed much. I think they've added new exhibits like the sea lions and I don't know, a couple of other things, but pretty much the aquarium looks the same. It was packed, so many people going to visit there, and I could see why. It's just a fun place to go. If you have not been to the New England Aquarium in Boston, I highly suggest you go for the day. I'm standing there looking at the fish swimming by and I was mesmerized. I'm like, this is like hypnotism. It's fish hypnotics. It was crazy, but I loved it. I love just watching them swim by. And then if you stand near the glass and then a fish just goes swims right by your face like that, like, right up to the glass. It's so funny, and there were actually some fish you could tell they had attitude. There was a group of thin fish. They were big, but they were thin, and they had kind of a little bit of a nose. And I said, "They looked like colonial fish, like they lived in the 1700s." And they all kept traveling together, like the same group of fish. So I said, "I bet it's a clique, and they probably bully the other fish. Like, don't come in our group. We just like our group, and that's it." And I felt like they were the rule fish. Like, they were just making all the rules in the tank, and nobody was gonna mess with them. They looked very serious. Some of the fish were smiling. Some of the fish were all about having a good time, just kinda chatting with the other fish, swimming around and being like, "Hey, there's Mr. Turtle, Myrtle the turtle." There was a Myrtle the turtle, believe it or not. She's 95-year-old turtle in the tank. I couldn't believe it. And, they're just kinda happy-go-lucky, and then the stingray, Quincy said they were smiling, and they were smiling. You could tell they had a smiley face on the bottom of them. You could see them as they're waving. What do you they weren't sw is that swimming? Do stingray swim? I don't know. They glide, really. She touched a couple of them. That was kinda crazy. I didn't wanna touch them. I'm like, "No, I'll be over here." So, it was just really a fun day. I can't you think just kids go. No, just go. Go to the aquarium. It's great. And then we went over to well, we had lunch, and we did go over to Faneuil Hall. Now, when I was a kid, that was the big day trip of the summer. You go over to Faneuil Hall and spend the day there, go where the food is. You walk up and down in the corridor inside the building. There were 2 buildings that had food, actually, as I remember. Now it's only 1, and it was hot as blazes because we went in July. So it was boiling, steaming hot. We always went on a sunny, hot day. Not sure why. And just the food and the sweat, and it was just I remember it like it was yesterday. And then we would go and wait 2 hours to sit in the Durkin Park restaurant, which was up on the 2nd floor in a building across the way. So there was Durkin Park, as I remember. I could be completely wrong, and someone will school me on it, and that's fine. I was a kid. So Durkin Park was in a building over here up on the 2nd floor. And then the middle, you had the food in the middle. And then on the outskirts of where the food is, you had little shops on the outside, but they're covered. And then underground, there were shops all along there. And then on the outside, shops and shops on the 2nd floor. I used to love and go and buy stickers. I know, I was a sticker hound. I loved stickers, never opened them. I did not open the packages of stickers, I didn't use them, I just looked at them. I was a weird kid, man, what can I say? So I remember that, and then across that way, another strip of stores all along the bottom floor, and then on the 2nd floor. So it was just packed with stores and packed with people. You couldn't move. It was just hustle and bustle. So we're talking about mid-70s here, mid-70s into, like, late 70s, early 80s is when we used to do this. And I remember it. I remember it. It was just fun and a long day. Then we go to oh my gosh, what was the steakhouse? Oh, shoot, with the cow outside. It's gone now. Oh my gosh, Al, help me here. The steakhouse. Dang it. In Saugus. But anyway, so put it in the comments if you remember. But we'd go to that steakhouse and again wait in line for 2 hours to have a piece of steak. Why? I don't know, but we did. And that was our day. So we're in Faneuil Hall yesterday, and guys, it has changed so much. I was really bummed out. We had a great day. We had a fun time. We had just a great day, but to take a look at Faneuil Hall and how it is today compared to back then, wow. So half of the no, I'm gonna say probably 75% of retail is gone. It's just gone. It's out of there. Empty stores, empty storefronts, empty, gated up places in the basement, which used to be so fun to be able to walk down and go see what they were selling down, like oils and all kinds of things, right? And cheeses and stuff like that. Gone, all gone. And the food court is just in the one building now, but it's so, how do I say, like, generic? Back in the day, everything was you always knew about the scallops wrapped in bacon. That was a big thing to go get because nobody else did that. No one else was selling scallops wrapped in bacon, but if you went to Boston in Faneuil Hall in the food court area, they were selling scallops wrapped in bacon, and I always wanted to get it. But now it's just, I don't know, it's just not the same. The unique food items are just not there anymore. And I'm guessing retail has just been priced out of itself. Who can afford to be in Faneuil Hall? I'm guessing the rents are ridiculous. I did see the Coach store has been there a little bit. There was no one in there. There's no one buying anything. You can get everything online now, and that's the whole bottom line of all of it. You can buy whatever you want online. I actually have a delivery coming today. Toothpaste, couple of bottles of vitamins, and I don't know, one other thing. I don't have to go to the store for that. I just order it. Just go on Amazon. It's at my house in like 2 days. So I don't even have to annoy myself by going to Walmart. Yeah, so Faneuil Hall just different, totally different vibe than what it used to be. Maybe it'll change once summer kicks in. They'll have more of the live entertainment outside, but in terms of retail and where you can go look around for different unique things, it's just not there anymore. It really isn't. I, I don't know. And I watched a quick TikTok video of a girl this morning who works at a store. I don't know what the name of the store is, in a mall. She goes, "This is what I do in a day when I work at this particular store in a dead mall." Because malls are, I have to say, Warwick Mall near me in Rhode Island is usually it seems to be pretty busy. The parking lot is still hopping. But Emerald Square Mall in Massachusetts, there are videos done about that mall all the time. It's there's no one there. There's no one shopping. So this particular girl, she's on TikTok, she went through her whole day. She made $0 for the entire shift. I think she was there from 9 to 7 or something like that. She didn't make 1 penny. 0. I don't know, I think our landscape is changing so much, and retail has changed. I like going to the store still. I'm sorry, I do like ordering things online, just certain things, but honestly, I still like going to the store. Is it convenient? Sometimes no, but man, it's so different. So, so different. Yeah. So that was a great start to the day. Let me just bum you out on this Sunday. Sorry. Yeah, Hilltop Steakhouse. Thank you, Nancy. Hilltop. Oh my gosh, it was so the thing to do. We did it every summer, the same thing. We leave really early in the morning, sit in hours of traffic, go to Faneuil Hall, stand in line for 2 hours to go to Durkin Park, walk around the crowded, Faneuil Hall part of the city, go over to Hilltop Steakhouse, wait in line for 2 hours to get a steak, and then drive home in traffic. But that's what we did. And it's just hard to believe that we did all of that in a day back in the day when traffic was traffic. I mean, it was, you sat there, you turned your car off. Now, yes, you get traffic. There's traffic. There was not much traffic going into Boston yesterday, but there was a little bit of traffic, a little bit of, it's just not like it was though. It's fine. I don't want traffic. I don't like traffic. Yeah. Happy Sunday to all of you. Let's go ahead and get into a whole bunch of music news that I got. So Billy Joel, there's a documentary, according to CNN. It reveals that he attempted to off himself twice, and he was in a coma after an affair with his friend's wife. Billy. I'm shocked at you. Like, he's the piano man. How could he do such a thing? But I guess he did. And the name of the documentary is Billy Joel and So It Goes. It premiered at the Tribeca Festival in New York City this week. And it goes, into some of the struggles Billy has had, including 2 attempts of him trying to off himself after an affair with his bandmate's wife. You shouldn't do that, but dude, that story is like that's a big story. I mean, that happens a lot. Tell me in the comments about who you can think of on the top of your mind, who messed around in a band with each other. Well, Fleetwood Mac, hi. They all just commingled with each other. Not the girls, but the girls and the boys. They went at it and then they hated each other. So you just don't do that. Let's see. The first part of the documentary told the story of Billy being in the band Attila with his best friend John Small, whom Billy eventually lived with in John's home. And John had his home there with his wife Elizabeth and their son. Oh, this is getting a little hairy, don't you think? And John, no, Weber. Weber said, "Who's Weber? Who's Weber? Let's see." Da, 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 da. Who's what? Oh, Elizabeth. Elizabeth Weber, that's her name. She was in this film and she said that there was a slow burn between her and Billy. And Billy said he felt very, very guilty after their affair, which ended in a fight and the band splitting after he confessed to John that he was in love with his wife. Well, yeah, that would cause a band to break up, I would think. Just a smidge. And Billy told the filmmakers they had a child. I felt like a homewrecker. I was just in love with a woman and I got punched in the nose, which I deserved. John was very upset. I was very upset. And Elizabeth said Billy spiraled into drinking, had no home, and was depressed to the point of him almost being psychotic. Wow. And Billy said, "I figured that's it. I don't want to live anymore. I was just in a lot of pain, and it was sort of like, why hang out? Tomorrow's going to be just like today, and today sucks." So I thought about just ending it all. And his sister at the time, Judy, was a medical assistant, and she gave him sleeping pills, which he took all of them and ended up in the hospital in a coma for several days. Who knew this about Billy Joel? Oh my goodness. Let's see. And his sister thought that, she was the cause of why he was in the hospital. And the second time around, he drank a bottle of cleaning fluid. And his friend John, whose wife he messed around with, is the one who took him to the hospital. So John could have left him there, but John probably saved his life. And Billy said that even though our friendship was blowing up, John saved my life. Billy went to get help. And he then went on to channel his emotions into his music, and that's what brought him success. So, a while later, Billy and Elizabeth reconnected, and oh my gosh, they got married. What? Wow. They were married. Wow. From 1973 to 1982, almost 10 years. And today she still has an admiration for him and she's been very supportive of Billy. And she told E! News that he's worked so hard all of his life. I've never known anybody who worked harder than he did in all those years we were together and working together. So this documentary called Billy Joel and So It Goes is going to air on HBO in July. You never know. You never know, and I don't have HBO. That rhymes. There's too many channels, guys. I have Hulu. That's it. I have Hulu. And there's so many channels on that, but you don't get the premiums. You don't get HBO, you don't get Cinemax, you don't get Showtime, you don't get any of that stuff. However, if you wait long enough, the really popular series on those premium networks do eventually end up on Hulu. So that's what I've noticed, and it's okay with me. Hey, Carol, what's going on? And Kathy, and let's see, Annette, how are you today? Thank you for being here. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much, for spending a little part of your Sunday with all of us. This is kind of cool. What did I have for breakfast today? All right, I'm just going to tell you. We went to Market Basket this morning, my favorite place. And this is so weird about Market Basket, right? Now, we're talking about, I think I've had these plants about a month. About a month ago, I went to Market Basket and I saw that they had hibiscus. I got, did I get two? Yeah, I think I got two hibiscus plants because one's pinkish and one's yellow. It's more like a tree. Really, really pretty. And I first saw them, I said, "I better get them now," because Market Basket is strange, right? It's not really strange, I think they're smart. They put the plants out, once they're sold, they're done. They're not bringing any more back, and I think this year was even more so like that than any year past because they have nothing. They had a few things out front, some vegetable plants for a dollar, which is pretty cool, and then some perennials and annuals. They were marked down to like 4.99, 6.99, but it was nothing I was interested in, so I passed on those. But I think it's because, it's a lot of labor to keep watering the plants. And what if they keep ordering more plants and don't sell them? And as we go into the summer, they have to water them more labor, da da da. So Market Basket is smart in that respect. However, next year, if you guys see plants that you want, even during the Christmas season, you see a cute little, I don't know, tree or something like that, you got to get it in the beginning, or else once they sell these things, they do not replenish their stock. It's smart. I think it's very, very smart of them. And I did notice, some of the things on the shelves are getting a little, sparse a bit. Kind of like a few years ago, wink, wink. Remember when the shelves were kind of bare and you had to go hunting around for toilet paper? Yeah, that time, in Market Basket, again, smart. What they did was they were pulling stuff all the way to the front of the shelves, so it looked like they were very full and stocked, but then if you took one thing off the shelf, there was nothing behind it. It was completely empty. Now, one thing that I do like to buy, and I know someone may say, "Dude, you're spending more money buying it that way," but I like it like this. It's one thing. The little to-go peanut butter cups, not Reese's peanut butter cups, just Jif or Skippy in a little, I think it's Jif is the one I think it's Jif, and they're just to-go cups, and there's 8 of them. They haven't had those in over a month. I know. So I don't know why they're not replenishing those, but you can't find, and I couldn't even find them at Stop& and Shop. I know I said it, but I have to tell you, their grapes get me. They have those monster grapes I've been talking about, and they still have them. They're so good. They're wicked expensive, but oh my gosh, I really enjoy those grapes. I really like them. So I've been going to Stop& and Shop for those grapes, and I figure, let me look to see if they have the to-go peanut butter cups, but the ones they have are just the regular, I like the natural ones. They don't have them. I don't know what's going on. There's something, it's a little bit of changes happening, you notice, but I really don't go much anywhere else. I just am noticing it at Market Basket, but they're doing a great job keeping everything in stock, and it looks good. Everything's pretty. They got tons of people working there. Tons. Tons and tons and tons. So, I like Market Basket. And this was sad news to read this. Morton Harkett, lead singer of Aha. Remember that song? Take on me. Well, that band, because what? Is this a one-hit wonder for them? I think so. However, I think this song has made them a tremendous amount of cash. But so Morton Harkett, lead singer of a-ha, has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, which is very sad to hear. This is from CNN.com. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Al hates when I share my screen, by the way. I'm just, you guys know. He goes, "Does it go black?" I said, "Yes, because I have to go back to the tab and put it in." Blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and read this story. So there's Morton right there. The singer of a-ha, the band behind the 1985 hit and animated music video. I think that was the first time they ever did a video like that, if you remember what I'm talking about. Take on Me, shared during an interview with the group's biographer that he does have Parkinson's. And he said, "I've got no problem accepting the diagnosis. With time, I've taken to heart my 94-year-old father's attitude to the way the organism gradually surrenders. I use whatever works." That's a great way to look at it. And Harkett is 65. He explained why he wanted to share his diagnosis publicly. He said, "Acknowledging the diagnosis wasn't a problem for me. It's my need for peace and quiet to work that has been stopping me. I'm trying the best I can to prevent my entire system from going into decline. It's a difficult balancing act between taking the medication and managing its side effects. There's so much to weigh up when you're emulating the masterful way the body handles every complex movement or social matters and invitations or day to day life in general." And the Mayo Clinic says that Parkinson's disease is a movement disorder of the nervous system that just gradually gets worse over time. Terrible, terrible disease. Harkett did have advanced brain surgery at the Mayo Clinic, which, along with medication, has softened the impact of his system. So that's great to hear. You know, if you could stop those symptoms from progressing as quickly, I think that's the best you can ask for when you're within a diagnosis like that. In June of 2024, Morton underwent a neurosurgical procedure in which electrodes were implanted deep inside the left side of his brain. These are connected to a small pacemaker like device placed under the skin of the upper chest that sends electrical impulses through the electrodes into the brain. And Jan Omdahl is quoted on this. That's the group's biographer. The method is called deep brain stimulation, otherwise known as DBS, and is among the most advanced treatments in neurology. The procedure had the desired effect, with the right electrical impulses now reaching Morton's brain. Many of his physical symptoms practically vanished. That's so wonderful to hear. In December of 2024, he underwent a similar procedure on the right side of his brain, which was also successful. But Morton says that his voice has also been affected. "The problems with my voice are one of many grounds for uncertainty about my creative future," he said. And that's the thing, you know, he's an artist, he's a singer, lead singer of a band. I mean, humongous. The song made them huge. They're from Norway, and the group was founded in 1982. And their biggest success came with their debut album, Hunting High and Low, in 1985. The album did get to number one in Norway, their native Norway, number two in the UK, and number 15 in the US. And it contains their number one massive, massive hit with millions and millions of views on YouTube, Take on Me. And The Sun Always Shines on TV. That was another hit of theirs, I guess. I'm not really familiar with that. And the album got a-ha to receive a Grammy nomination for Best New Artist. They did break up in 2010 after their tour, ending on a high note tour. but they reunited in 2015 to release their 10th album, Cast in Steel. They toured in support of the album and participated at Rock in Rio, which celebrated 30 years for both the band and the event. So they have 11 albums under their belt in total. Their most recent album, True North, was released on October 21st of 2022. And the band is in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the biggest paying rock concert attendance, which drew 198,000 people at Maracanã Stadium, if that's how you say it, during the Rock in Rio festival. They have sold over more than 100 million records, albums, and singles combined. Yeah, huge, huge. Let me just look at YouTube for a second. See how many views on that video is it at a billion? I don't know. It could be. Let's see. Take on me comes right up. I was wrong. 2.1 billion views on that video on YouTube. Take on me, 2.1 billion views on YouTube. And I think they're in Spotify. They're in the billion club on Spotify as well, if I'm not mistaken. Craziness. It is a neat video. I really enjoy it. And I still watch it to this day. I love it. I love So, sending all of our best to Morton, of course. Jimmy Buffett, his widow. Dang, this is from people.com. Let's go ahead and share our screen on this one. So, Jimmy Buffett's widow sues estate co-trustee, claims he's withholding financial information about late singer's $275 million trust. And there's the late Jimmy Buffett with his wife Jane. She alleges that the accountant appointed co-trustee has not been performing his duties properly. Like, how do you even find out something like that? Really? How do you figure it out? 275 million is a lot of money. So what's the tip off? Well, let's see if they tell us. So Jane filed suit against the man appointed co-trustee of the late singer's $275 million trust, saying that he's dragged his feet in providing crucial financial information to Jimmy's family, and that he and Jeffrey Smith, the lawyer he selected to represent the trustees of the marital trust, have acted openly hostile towards Jane. Why? Because she's asking questions? Is that why they're hostile? Please. So, right there, right then and there, they're acting hostile because Jane is asking questions about her money. Something's going on. There's something fishy in Margaritaville. That's what I'm saying. No margaritas in Margaritaville. Jane, who was married to Buffett for 46 years before he passed in September of 2023. I cannot believe it's been that long already. Almost 2 years? Wow. Wow. The world was rattled when Jimmy Buffett passed, for sure. So she asked the court to remove accountant Richard Mosenter as co-trustee of the estate on Tuesday, June 3rd, saying that she and her personal counsel have repeatedly, so her and her lawyers have asked him to act responsibly and perform his duties. He's not done that. Mr. Mosenter has failed to perform even the most basic tasks required of him in his role as co trustee, including providing Mrs. Buffett with information concerning trust assets and finances, which has left Mrs. Buffett in the dark with regard to the state of her own finances, says the filing. Along the way, Mr. Mosenter has belittled, disrespected, and condescended to Mrs. Buffett in response to her reasonable request for information she undoubtedly was entitled to receive. First of all, this woman lost her husband of 46 years. She will be grieving for the rest of her life. She will. She'll be grieving for the rest of her life. My mother, when she lost my dad, they were married over 50 years, and he passed. He was only 55 years old. My mother literally, I mean, of course, she had her happy moments. I mean, when I had my kids, she was beyond in love with them, but she definitely carried the grief from my dad until the day she passed. She missed him tremendously. So to even be the slightest a bit disrespectful, first of all, you're working for her. She employed you. But even just on the regard of being a nice person, oh my god, how do you do that? How do you how do you do that? And Mazenter did not respond to people's request for comment. Well, he should. Just saying. The filing states that the Buffett's trust was created in December of 1990 for the benefit of Jimmy's wife, Jane, was amended in 2017, then again in 2023. And all three of the couple's children have one-third share of the remaining federal estate tax exemption worth about $2 million each. And the trust says that when Buffett were to pass, the bulk of his assets would go to the marital trust, which was to be administered by Jane and an independent co-trustee. So Mazenter took on the responsibility of managing the $275 million trust. And according to the filing, Jane's first meeting with Mazenter, which took place 1 month after Jimmy's death, yielded more questions than answers when it came to what she should expect in projected income. Well, yeah, I mean, even though that's a tremendous amount of money, I mean, she'll never go through all of that in her lifetime, probably take several lifetimes to go through that, but she still has to live. If everything's tied up in that trust, she does need to, "Hey, we need to buy some milk. Like, where do I get the money from?" I don't know. I'm not a multimillionaire, so I wouldn't know. Rather than help his recently widowed client understand her finances, Mr. Mosenter spent the next 16 months stonewalling and making excuses for why he could not yet provide the requested information. That's what the filing says. And in February, according to the filing, Mosenter finally provided the estimate that Jane wanted, with results that the family found to be shocking. Hmm. And the complaint says he showed the marital trust earning less than $2 million in net income, a remarkably poor return for a trust with an estimated $275 million in assets. I mean, I would think just popping a quarter of that in the stock market, going on the right thing, you're just in dividends alone, you could make more than that. So Mosenter told Jane, allegedly, that the trust would not cover her annual expenses. How could that be? And encouraged her to consider adjustments to her expenses and sell her real estate. Oh, wow. There you go. Something real smelly in Denmark there. The filing claims that Mosenter's income projection did not include any distributions from Margarita Villa, a company of which the trust owns about 20%. And the filing also says if the marital trust truly earns such a low return consistent with the financials Mr. Mosenter presented, it will confirm that Mr. Mosenter is either not competent to administer the trust or unwilling to act in Mrs. Buffett's best interests. Absolutely. If, you know, you're a financial advisor, really, you should know what you're doing. And especially handling, like it says, that much. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And where'd she get them from? Go back to your friend who suggested, do you use him, and get everybody to not use him anymore? Really? I mean, because that's just terrible. Let's see. And Jane does live in Sag Harbor, New York. says that Mosenter allegedly has been unprofessional and combative in communications. She has asked him to resign as of May 30th, and he allegedly refused, insisting that he remain in a position of authority over her wealth. Imagine that, like, you don't get along with someone who's managing your estate, someone to that celebrity caliber, and you don't get along with that person, but yet they're like, "I'm not going anywhere." My gosh, it would crawl up my butt sideways and just make me not sleep. And I'm sure Jane's pretty upset about it, clearly. The filing claims that as a result of Mosenter's actions, the majority of Jane's net worth is being controlled by someone she does not trust. And she's had to pay out a large sum of money, more than $1.7 million last year, no matter how badly he treats her. That's terrible. You know, again, it comes down to in these situations, man, just do the right thing. Sometimes you just gotta take a look at yourself and just say, I gotta do the right thing. I gotta do the right thing. Allegedly, he's not. Star LeBlanc, is that you, Eunice? Just saying. And all heartache due to the root of all evil, money. Money doesn't have to be evil. Money can be used for so many wonderful things when you have a lot of it. But if you treat money in a bad way, you're not respectful of money, you're greedy or whatever, money can be the root of all evil. But to me, money should be the way you can be happy and have fun and, just be able to support yourself in a really nice way. There is a good side, yeah. Yeah. All right, the Talking Heads. The Talking Heads, they released a video, their first official video for Psycho Killer. Why? Why would you mean this is from openculture.com. I mean, with all the crap going on today, like, pick a nicer name, like maybe Crazy Person? No, that wouldn't be a good video title name. Come on. Come on. They teased, the Talking Heads that is, a major announcement on June 5th, leading fans to wonder if a reunion is going to happen 41 years after their last tour. And they're thinking, fans are hopeful that it might be happening. One fan said, if this is a tour announcement, I'm going to freak out. We didn't get that. Maybe next time. But what people did get is the first official music video for their new song, Psycho Killer. Let's go ahead and share the screen. And there we go. Go over here. Oh, no, it does not end tonight. These ads, I can't. Here's the picture right here. You can watch it on YouTube. This is, like I said, from openculture.com, but you can go over to YouTube and watch it if you want to. And from NME.com, fans were reacting because the Talking Heads had a huge announcement and they're just still begging for a reunion. Let's go ahead and share this one. There they are. There they are today. David Byrne right there. Chris France, Tina Weymouth, David Byrne, and Jerry Harrison of Talking Heads. That's from 2023. They look pretty good. That's what I'm saying. So we'll see if a reunion is in the works. But right now it's a video. Let's see. Oh, okay. So there was no caption to the post or any other details about what the post could allude to when they were teasing this big announcement. But it is worth noting that the same date in 1975 marked the first time the band played live together with David Byrne and company. They opened for the Ramones at the New York City venue CBGB. With that in mind, the release could be a remastered recording of that live debut, but it's not. It's a song. And people are kind of thinking now, yeah, maybe it is going to lead to a reunion. And it might. They broke up 34 years ago. And someone said, "Please go on tour. Please go on tour. Please go on tour." They're begging. And there it is. From Talking Heads Official. I think that's their Instagram. Yeah, that's their Instagram. Would you like a Talking Heads? I got to tell you, I'm so ticket prices and everything. I don't know. I've lost that love and feeling. I just have. We're going to try something maybe a little different at a couple of shows this summer. Maybe, waiting till the last minute to see if we can go and get some cheap tickets. But we'll see. We'll see. Couple. It's not really a lot of shows I want to see though. I think I would have gone to Jelly Roll, but those tickets were way out of my league. However, Gillette, I think, was sold out. Post Malone and Jelly Roll. It was a big one. That was a big one. Yeah. Love you, Eunice. Yes. Peace to you as well, for sure. Always peace. We always want peace. Keep the peace. Keep the peace. Rod Stewart. This is from AOL.com. AOL. I still have an AOL account. Do you? I do. I still have an AOL email address. I do. And, just for funs and giggles, I'll give that email address. Again, it doesn't happen often, but if you go to the store and then, oh, what's your email address? We can, email you the receipt. I give them my AOL address and they're like, what's that? I literally have had cashiers say, what? A- At what? Or then you get the cashiers that go, "Oh my AOL." It's like from decades ago. Yeah. Yeah. It's like MySpace. So Rod Stewart cancels upcoming concerts due to illness. I'm devastated and sincerely apologize. He recently got the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I think 5 of his 8 kids were there with him. I think that surprised him more than the award itself. He was so blown away that most of his children were there. He just kept talking. I think that was the greatest speech because he had no idea. They just completely surprised him. I love that. Sir Rod Stewart has canceled several upcoming concerts due to an unforeseen illness. Hopefully, he's okay. I mean, great reviews about his shows. You don't hear anything bad about Rod Stewart concerts. He's dropping 4 shows in Nevada from his tour and postponing 2 shows in California this month after being diagnosed with the flu. Now, he's 80, right? The older you get, when you get these types of things, it takes a little bit longer to recuperate. You can recuperate, but it just takes a little bit more time. And the fact that he's, a showman and he's singing and performing and preparing and traveling, he needs some time. He needs some time. And him or his team said, I have to cancel and reschedule my next 6 concerts in June as I continue to recover from the flu. This was from Instagram. So sorry, my friends. I'm devastated and sincerely apologize for any inconvenience to my fans. I'll be back on stage and we'll see you soon. I'm sure he will. Stewart canceled 3 shows at the Coliseum in Vegas that were scheduled for last night, tonight, and June 10th. And also June 14th concert at the Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic in State Line, Nevada. He also rescheduled his June 12th show at the Agua Caliente Casino in Rancho Mirage, California for September 20th. That's a little bit further out. And rescheduled his June 15th concert at the Vina Robles Amphitheater in Paso Vina Robles. Is that how you say it? Robles? Robles. Well, I'm just reading it. Paso Robles. Is that how you Paso Robles, California, for September 21st. So he's got a couple of shows that he canceled in the distant future, which is kinda, did he have to move things around? I don't know. So next stop for Sir Rod Stewart is at the Glastonbury Festival in the UK on June 29th. So maybe that's why he's trying to say, "Listen, I gotta rest before I go to the UK," which I'm going to the UK. That's my land. I'm gonna just rest up. Probably gonna see family, blah, blah, blah. And he's got tons of shows scheduled across North America, South America, and Europe over the next several months. Guy's gonna be busy. This is supposedly, no more touring for Sir Rod, but we'll see. We will see. So all of our best to the "Do You Wanna Think I'm Sexy" singer Rod Stewart. They say that every article practically. The "Do You Think I'm Sexy" singer. That's like it's how they all open it. Why? Use another song. Use another. How about the "Tonight's the Night" singer? Why don't you use that one? That's a sexy song. Don't you think? That's very sexy. Speaking of sexy, at the aquarium yesterday, now I'm gonna shock you for a second, just a little bit. I saw 2 penguins canoodling, like, with noises and everything. You could tell the girl penguin was on the bottom and the boy was on the top because he was all, like, into it, and her eyes were just like that, and she was like, "Is it over yet?" You could just tell she had had enough. She's like, "Oh my gosh, is he gonna go swimming or please let him go. Make him pretend to I hope he can't see me again." And then when it was over, it lasted about a minute. Just not get I know. Me. Only me this happens to. I walk outside my door, birds just jamming together in the sky. Like, how does that happen? Squirrels. I look out my window. Why? Do I need to see these things? At the aquarium, 2 penguins. Why is it me that this happens to? Anyway, it's over and he just stayed there. And you could tell she's like, "Oh, come on. Go now. Like you've done it. You did your thing. You've got your tension released. Go with your friends. I'm done." And especially in front of all those people, how embarrassing. How embarrassing. Very upset. My gosh. So yeah. So I do have that video. I know. Why did I film it? Because I'll probably never see that again. When do you see 2 penguins going at it? Okay, so this is from musicradar.com. Really, to go from one thing to another, I can't. Sharon Osbourne has given some great advice. She's been given great advice, probably the greatest advice she's ever been given. Let's go ahead and see what that advice was. Never let your publishing go. You look at where your songs could end up. You get a couple of million each time your song is used in an advertisement. The best music industry advice Sharon Osbourne has ever given. And there she is. There's Sharon in all of her glory. And we're about a month away from Back to the Beginning, the final Black Sabbath performance. And Sharon gave a recent interview to Music Business UK. And she talks about all aspects of her managerial career, from learning what to do and what not to do from her dad, Don Arden. He managed so many people back in the day. And he managed Gary Moore before she guided Ozzy through to a successful solo career, and they got married. So, some of her wisdom from her 5 decades in the music business, she says, never let your publishing go until you get to the stage where you think you want to bail and then you sell it for a fortune. And I have to say, I really think some of these artists have not sold their, oh my gosh, really? They're, these ads, I can't. I think some of these artists have just given away their music rights for not a lot of money. I keep thinking of ZZ Top. Why? Maybe there's something I'm missing there. But 150 million for the 3 of them? I just I feel like that was way too low, but it's not my decision. And she talks about, your songs could be used in an advertisement. Look at the TV shows that have taken music and really put people that have not been in the spotlight for decades, put them in the spotlight again and making them more money. Kate Bush, what you were going up that hill on Stranger Things or down the hill, wherever you're going on the hill, and she's brought back to life again, which had to be very cool for her. And Sharon said, other people could cover your song and have a hit with a song that wasn't a hit for you, but it's something which now I know a lot of artists, they go in and they want deals and record companies want their publishing. It's like, F you, no way. It's true. How many artists have gotten screwed over the years too? It's just nuts. So Osborne doesn't think much of the long-term development of artists in the modern music industry. And she said, there's no development currently at record labels. They take everything. Record labels developing artists doesn't exist. A&R departments just go on the internet. That's it. They'll take your publishing, your merchandise, and everything else. And all they do is press and distribute and stream you. How sad is that? So, how are current artists making money? Are they doing it having a tour? Which I can't imagine the millions of dollars it costs to even go on tour. You've got the people, you've got the stage things, you I don't know, lighten things up there in the sky or the lights and all of that, security, travel. I don't know how they're making their money. I feel like everything is so expensive and so out of control. It's gotta be hard, really. And she also said most of the record companies own the streaming anyway, and all of this about, "Oh, I've got a billion streams." It's amazing. Well, you're getting less than an effing penny for a stream. It's absolutely bastardizing an artist's music. Interesting. How do you fix it then? How do you fix it? I don't think you can. I really don't. She also said that the creation of Ozfest, which was a huge festival success of the 1990s and 2000s, was a direct result of Ozzy getting turned down by Lollapalooza. Really? I didn't know that. They were like, no, not at all, not for us. It gave me the idea of F it then. We'll do our own metal festival because it doesn't exist. Wow. She really smart. Really. She's a smart woman. And she went on to say there were no touring metal festivals. It was the beginning. All the rest followed, and I'm so proud of that. We did it first, and it was an opportunity for so many younger bands to play in front of a huge crowd. So if you want to read the rest of the interview, go to musicradar.com. Look up the Sharon Oz interview. That's pretty cool. So guys, before I go on, please hit the like button, subscribe if you have not subscribed already, and download the free app too. Kiki.fm. Thank you so much. I love you. And I love the doobies. I love the doobies. This is from, let's see. Let's go ahead and share it first before I this is from newstheurbanmusicscene.com. The Doobie Brothers to release new album Walk This Road on June 6th, which was a couple of days ago. And they have a new video as well. Can we click on it? Well, I don't want to play it because I can't. That's just their picture. Well, I'm not even gonna go searching for it. You can go searching for it if you wanna see the new oh, there it is right there. It's a lyric video. So maybe if I mute it oh, we'll go there in a second. So the Doobie Brothers, they've been around over 50 years. They're let's see. Greatest hit collection includes Listen to the Music, It Keeps You Running, and What a Fool Believes. I just hear Michael McDonald singing. Just so great. Tom Johnston. Thanks to their ability in building upon several genres for pop radio, and the band members, they've come and gone and returned throughout their long-standing career, including two original members, Tom Johnston and Patrick Simmons. The Doobies have always found ways to refine their musicality, especially when Michael McDonald joined in 1975, injecting soulful and jazz touches. Oh my gosh, he's so good. I mean, you just close your eyes and you know that's Michael McDonald who's singing that song. You just know it. Their latest album, Walk This Road, just came out, and 4 songs are ready for you to preview. Now I'm gonna go over here, and then I'm gonna have to Oh, no, don't do it. Alright, so is it playing? Oh, no, alright. Alright, so there it is. It's just a lyric video. So it's like, the Steve Perry things. There's nothing there, just a picture. So there you go. Okay, so I guess they're gonna have the lyrics like karaoke, so if you wanna sing it, you can, if you want to. You can go on YouTube and see it. And that's the thing, right? You go on YouTube, you don't need to buy anything anymore. So, you can download a song to support, the artist, which is great. I try to do that as much as I can, but they're not really getting anything in return. So you're putting out this new music, awesome. You have to do it for your creative outlet. You gotta These artists who have been around for decades, they're gonna keep doing it because they love it so much, but they're not doing it for the money, guys, at this point. They're not making any money. I mean, someone may beg to differ, go ahead, let me know if you beg to differ, you're making tons of money on your new music, I would love to know about it, but I don't think so. Something comes to mind, Bon Jovi, allegedly, they released an album, what, not too long ago. It debuted at number 1 and then it just disappeared from the chart, from what I remember reading. Well, what's that all about? So you have to wonder, did they allegedly, have to put that word in there, allegedly, pay to have that added to the top of the chart, right? Debut up here, and then we don't care after that, just so they can say they were at number 1? I don't know. But then what happens? Like, you forget all about it. I forgot all about their new album. I don't know. If you know something, you tell me. So there you go. So there's their new track listing. I love the Doobies. I think they are fabulous. However, I'm just gonna listen to their older music. That's just me. I'll probably give this a listen, but I don't know. I did try watching the Becoming Led Zeppelin documentary. I turned it off after less than 10 minutes. I couldn't get into it. I'm sorry. I'll try it again because I need to watch it, but I think I've got to fast forward to, like, history. Yes, it's relevant to them, but I wanna hear about them. Like, if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. It's all about what's going on in the world, and okay, that's important, but I really wanna hear about Led Zeppelin and their beginnings and all of that. It was a lot in the beginning. It's a lot of really what was going on around the world. So, hi, Laura, how are you? And let's see. Now here we go. Vince Neil. Vince Neil back in the news. Allegedly, him and his girlfriend of 15 plus Rain. What the heck is that? They broke up. They broke up, which is crazy. Like, what happened there? But there's been a lot going on with Vince. So we just don't know. Legendary rocker, 64. Why do they gotta put the age in there every time? Every time. Every time. Are they gonna say legendary rocker of girls, 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 64, just like Rod Stewart? Rod Stewart, if you think I'm sexy or whatever, the 89, however old he is, why do they have to do that every time? It's like a formula they use or something. This is from parade.com. Legendary rocker 64 cancels upcoming show just months after emergency medical procedure. Hopefully Vince is okay. I mean, he's got stuff going on. The singing and all of that, lots of Vince stuff. Now he broke up from his girl. I'm sorry. I feel like Vince is looking at me going, "Come on, man, give me a break." And I'm not saying anything bad, Vince. I'm looking at you. I'm not. But something's up. And let's see. So Vince has canceled another show several months after dealing with health struggles that required a medical procedure. I don't think that medical procedure actually was released. I don't think so. So let's see. He was set to perform alongside Rat singer Stephen Pearcy on June 14th at the OLG stage at Falls View Casino. Why does it do this? I like Reese's a lot, but do you have to like interrupt my reading? Anyway, at the OLG stage at Falls View Casino in Canada, but the venue recently shared that Neil had taken a step back. That's a total grammatical area error. I'm an error. See, look at shared. It should say shared that Neil had taken a step back, not the Neil. We're not calling him the Neil. Due to circumstances beyond artist's control, Vince Neil will be unable to perform, the venue shared in a statement on their Instagram account. While Neil will no longer be performing, he will be replaced by former Skid Row frontman Sebastian Bach. But ticket holders will get a refund if they don't want to go and see Sebastian. I heard he's fun. He's fun. He gives a fun show. So why not? I mean, why not? Why not go see Sebastian? You know, hear him sing 18 in Life. I wonder how that is now. I wonder how he sings that now. It's a great song, by the way. It will be an unforgettable night of rock. Neil has not yet issued a statement. There are no further details about the cancellation. It's not the first time that the singer has had to bow out of a concert recently. Isn't cancellation, doesn't that have two L's? Isn't Parade like a big media outlet? Isn't it? Cancellation. I got to look this up now. I think that has two L's in it. Hold on. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Cancellation has two L's in it. Can I share? Look it. There's a whole thing. Wait a minute. Let's share the screen. There's a whole thing. Cancellation with one L or two. It's a thing. Wait, let's look. Ready? Watch this. I didn't know. Cancellation versus cancellation. Which spelling is correct? So I'm sorry, Parade. Learn how to spell cancellation with two L's and what it means. Wait now. Wait, I got to share this screen. Hold on. I got to go over to this one because now it took me to another tab. The tabs. Al hates the tabs. All right, here we go. Cancellation with one L or two. Which spelling is correct? When it comes to spelling, some words have variations that leave people unsure which one to use. Common example is the difference between cancellation with one L or two. I didn't even know this was like a problem. Both versions do exist. Many wonder which is correct. I was just wondering because we just took a left turn and went down this rabbit hole. And why does the variation occur? And this is going to help you choose the right one. Well, can we just get to the meat and potatoes here? Many people encounter both forms in writing, leading to uncertainty. Which one is correct? Yeah, I just said that. Um, okay, so both cancellation with one and two L's are correct, but cancellation with two L's is the preferred spelling. That's what I know, especially in British English. In American English, we're learning something new today. The simplified cancellation with one L exists, but it's far less common. So you can do it. So, guys, if you're feeling weird about spelling cancellation with one L and you live here in the United States, don't feel bad about it. Go ahead and use one L. Because guess what? If your teacher says that you're incorrect, you just pull this up right here and oh no, there could be one L or two, and I want to use one. I'm correct. Take that incorrect red pen mark off my paper now. I wouldn't talk to my teacher like that, but if you want to, this is a real thing. So they both mean the same thing. There's no way they have different meanings. They have it's the act of calling off or putting an end to something that was planned or scheduled. That's it. All right. So we're just going to say you really should use the two L's. I mean, you really should use the two. But if you want to use one, have at it. Let's go back to the Vince Neil article, shall we? Shan't we? We should go back. We should go back to that because that's what I was talking about. And if we don't go back to that, then I'm not going to finish the article. And I need to do that because we need to know what's going on. So back in the beginning of the year, Neil and the rest of Motley Crue, they were going to do a Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM, but they had to postpone some of their gigs. According to a statement from the band, Neil's doctors said, you got to have this procedure done. We're not going to say what it is, but you need to have it done and you got to recover. You need some time, Vince, to recover. So him and his girlfriend broke up after that. I'm thinking he had his surgery. They broke up, but then there was the whole plane crash thing in between that, if you recall that. So I don't know what happened. I smell meatballs. I'm not cooking. Oh, you know what I'm cooking ribs in the crock pot. That's what it is. Not meatballs, but ribs. Anyway, to all the crew heads who are looking forward to seeing us this spring, I'm truly sorry, Neil shared. My health is my top priority, so I can bring you the awesome shows you deserve, and I can't wait to return to the stage. He went on to say, thank you for all the well wishes that keep reaching me. Your support means more than you know. I bet Vince did not write that. I mean, I'm sure he thought it, but he didn't write it. But that's okay because we just want Vince to get better. Now, speaking of Vince Neil and Motley Crue, I'm like, okay, what's going on with Tommy Lee and Brittany Ferlin? Because are they still broken up? I want to know. And you might want to know too. You may want to know. And this is another article from Parade. I didn't even know I did that, but I did. So iconic rock star, 62. Why do you need to put his age in there? Why do you need to do that? And wife, 38, clarifying the age difference between the two people. Share relationship update after catfishing scandal. We're not going to go over all that. You can go down a rabbit hole with that whole thing, and I suggest doing it on TikTok. So there's Brittany and Tommy. They've been married for like 6 years. So Brittany shared an update on her relationship with Tommy Lee because supposedly she was living in a hotel allegedly, and he was putting out these kind of mean like social media blasts, basically. I don't know. He put out one. He released a song called "Stupid Girl," and he did some things. So let's see what Brittany had to say. There's that Reese's thing. You trying to tell me something? Like my computer's trying to tell me to have a Reese's peanut butter cup, which wouldn't be the most terrible thing in the world. So in an episode of Brittany's "This Is the Worst" podcast, she released how they're doing. And she said all of this happening was weirdly the reason why we were brought back together, which is really strange. I think we really faced like, oh, what would life really be like without each other? So they've gotten back together, it says, since they split in May. And Brittany says there's still a lot of healing to do. She said, we've been through this situation similarly before, and it's hard. And all I can say is that relationships are complicated and everyone has their SHIT, and we're not immune to that just because we're in the public eye. All the more reason they're not immune to it. So last month, Brittany said there was a lot going on in her marriage. She was living in a hotel. She had marital troubles. due to loneliness. And she also came out and said that Tommy's alleged drinking was part of the reason they split as well. She said, I was so lonely. I was messaging Chat GPT for affection. I'm like, it talks to you lovingly and it says nice things to you and it's sweet to you. And if it could kiss me, I would let it. That's weird. So when the whole catfishing thing began with Ronnie Radke allegedly messaging her, she began to feel better about herself and the friendly conversation turned romantic. And she did turn to Tommy Lee, let him know what was going on with it. She said, I told my husband everything. I thought it was Ronnie. He said it wasn't. I said, cool. I didn't hide anything. And she deleted that video that was on TikTok. I did see that video. There's no excuse, but I came clean. I'm a good person. I think, and I do give her credit for that. She did admit to Tommy that, listen, I'm messing around on you. I'm having a relationship with a person I think is this person on whatever they were messaging on. So I'm letting you know this is what's going on. This is how I feel. And that's that. So at least she didn't let it go on and then he found out from somebody else, which would suck. So I give her credit for that. I really do. So I'm glad they're back together. That's the relationship status between Tommy Lee and Brittany. And it is good. I mean, they've been together forever. Anywho, Gene Simmons. Yeah, this is from guitarplayer.com. Guitarplayer.com. Let's go over there. Let's go over there. Why? I'm not putting my email address in. So this article, not since the Renaissance, Gene Simmons on the group he calls the best in over 200 years. Okay, so who do you guys think Gene Simmons thinks is the best group ever? I mean, I'm kinda gonna go with the Beatles, but I don't know. I don't know, let's see. Let's see. There's Gene. Mm, okay. The group's bass guitar player is known. Oh, there's another spelling mistake, look at that. The group's bass guitar player is known. There should be an N at the end of that, not no. He's no. For his brash and boastful comments about the group's success, both on record and on stage, when he and Paul dreamed up of Kiss in the early '70s. But there's one group that Gene says is better than Kiss. He was recently on the School of Greatness podcast. Oh, and he said it's the Beatles. I probably just really saw that somewhere. I had to have because I wouldn't know that. I mean, I don't, you think Gene Simmons Kiss, you're not really thinking the Beatles, but he says the Beatles are above and beyond anything that anybody's ever seen in music over 200 years, easily not since the Renaissance. Wow. That's very cool. And you might expect Simmons to focus merely on the group's success, the hits, the fame, the money, but he has studied the work of John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison thoroughly to appreciate what they brought to the modern repertoire of popular music. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Gene sings. The last chord is a sophisticated chord, if you know about music. It's almost like a jazz chord, unheard of in rock music. So he really did dive deep. We took it to George Martin and sang She Loves You, yeah, 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 McCartney recalled in the Beatles anthology in that tight little 6 cluster we had at the end. George said, "It's very corny, I would never end on a 6th, but we said, it's such a great sound, it doesn't matter." And Gene pointed out the Beatles' tendency to get right to the hook, unlike other songwriters of their era. And it's kinda true, like, if you think early Beatles songs, they were short, they were quick, and they were all about the title. That was what they did. A lot of people did that too. "Satisfaction" is one of the great songs, he says of the tune. Oh, and that's now we're going to the Rolling Stones. Um, which features Keith Richards playing his electric guitar through a fuzz pedal, yet it takes about 40 seconds to get to the first I Can't Get No. Cream's Sunshine of Your Love, he says, takes about 50 seconds to get to the chorus where the song's title is finally sung. The Beatles tended to get to the hook quickly, sometimes at the start of a song, and he imagines John Lennon bringing a new tune to the others. That's kind of neat. McCartney, especially by far, is the most successful songwriter in all of recorded history, he said, noting that more than 1,000 musical artists across numerous genres have covered his song Yesterday. Very true. Gene has previously stated with his admiration for Paul, saying, I couldn't shine his shoes because he loves him so much. To this day, when I'm listening to Dear Prudence or some of those other great Beatles songs, you remember the bass part, you're aware of what the bass is doing. So if you want to hear the rest of that podcast, which sounds pretty cool, you can listen to The School of Greatness. Gene always has something to say. He does. So, guys, have you heard about the penny going away? This is crazy. Did you know? Now, the penny, of course, is worth a penny. It's worth 1 cent. From what I have listened to, the penny costs 2.9 cents to produce. So you're producing something that costs almost triple the amount of its value. Why are you going to keep producing it? It's losing money. Allegedly, President Trump has said that the penny is not going to be made anymore. So I'm like, well, what do you do with our pennies? Like, I have a lot of pennies. What do you do? I like change, by the way, like change coins. I like change. I like dollars. I like old money. I'm all about it. People are all digital. I like giving. And you get the look sometimes when people like, okay, that'll be a $1.07. I go to Cumbies, I get my refill, put in my mobile number. They probably know my whole life now, but I don't care because it saves me like $1.40. And it's $1.07, and I'm in there in my little wallet, my dollar bill, and then I'm counting out like I'll give them a dime. I'll say, keep the change. But now I'm like, I want my pennies. I want my 3 cents so I can, because I don't know what to do with it, right? And some people look at me weird, like, that I have cash, because everybody's using a card. Nobody carries even a wallet anymore. It's crazy. It's just like, do you carry? Let us know in the comments if you still carry a wallet and you have money, like like bills and change. Let me know because I'm curious. Am I blurry? Why do I look blurry? Wait, because I don't have my glasses on, but I just want to check. No, not blurry. Ridiculous. I can't. So, with the penny gone, this is from goerie.com. With the penny disappearing, what should you do with your old coins? That's what I want to know. So, let's go ahead and find out because I'm curious. All of us here, like we've got to be coin people, but I'm sure a lot of you are digital now because you're smart. I'm not. I like coins. And remember, you used to fill up your jars and stuff like that. Did you ever do that? I did. I always fill up my jars. Not anymore because no one uses coins. Look at those coins. Wheat pennies. My father used to collect wheat pennies. It's not right. Learn to love your coins. Kevin McCauley, CEO of Coinstar. You see those things in the supermarket? Coinstar, you go and dump all your coins in. They take like 7 cents or 10 cents out of every dollar that you have counted. And then you get money for your coins. That was a big thing. I don't even see Coinstar anymore. I can't even remember the last time I saw a Coinstar in a supermarket. American consumers made only 16% of their payments in cash in 2023. I was one of those 16%. That's so pathetic. That's really low. Holy moly. Holy moly. A 2022 Pew survey. What the hell is a Pew survey? Pew says that 2/5 of consumers never use cash at all. There are people who never use cash. It's like, oh, I hate cash. I love cash. I love it. So, President Donald Trump has ordered the Treasury to stop minting pennies because their cost just is way more than what they're worth. And the same is true of nickels. I didn't know that. Nickels, the same thing? Shut up. So, many Americans regard both nickels and pennies as more of a nuisance than the currency. I do have to agree. All right, as much as I like change, my favorite coins are dimes and quarters. I don't know why. It's a weird thing. Quarters are my tip top favorite, but dimes come in second. And yeah, nickels and pennies are pain in my bottom, right? But nickels, like you can count by fives. That's wicked easy. Pennies, you can get lost. Dimes, that's easy too, counting by tens. So the typical household is sitting on about 60 to $90 in neglected coins. Now, Al is a coin slob because he just takes his coins and throws them anywhere he desires. He doesn't save them in a specific place. Like I separate my coins. He just throws them in drawers. You'll find them in his pants, socks, underwear. Like the coins are everywhere. His car, they're just all over the floor. They're just, he just throws, I don't know what he does. I don't know why the coins are not neatly placed somewhere, but he's terrible with them. So he probably has a lot of coins. I would like him to collect them all and see how much it's worth because I bet he's got a lot in coins because he's been doing that for a long time. I open a drawer, I'm like, I can't even look at this, and I shut the drawer. Like I don't need it that bad because I'm not sifting through matches and he loves matches too. Do you like matches? He loves matches and thrown coins. Americans throw away millions of dollars in coins every year, literally treating them like trash. How sad. You're making the coins sad. Don't do that. Treat the coins with respect. It's money. It's money. Macaulay thinks we should change the way we think about coins. I agree, Macaulay. Coins are worth money. Coinstar converts $3 billion in coins into spendable cash every year, one coin jar at a time. The average jar yields $58 in buying power. That's nothing to sneeze at. That gets you a few coffees at Starbucks, like 3, maybe. Maybe, unless you get the tall ones. And many of us don't realize how much our coins are worth. So, a trip to the coin exchange kiosk or bank or credit union could give you a smile on your face. Like, here you go. Here's my coins. Count them up. I wonder if does the bank still do that for free? Do you think? I don't know. People underestimate the value of their jar by about half, Macaulay said. It's a wonderfully pleasurable experience. People have this sensation of found money. I could see that. Let's see. Those over 55 years old, that would be me, still use plenty of cash, the Fed found, along with people who prefer to shop in person. I just talked about this at the beginning of the podcast. Like, what the heck? I am such an oldie. As for the rest of us, Macaulay thinks it's time for a paradigm shift. Don't think of your coins as clutter. Think of them as recyclables. That's a good way to look at it. They're metal, he said, in case we need a reminder, and they have a long and useful life. That's true, because they can be turned into other things, I would think. So let's see what's going to happen. So you should recycle your coins into the monetary system. Go ahead and use them, cash them in, whatever. And let's see, you can go to your own bank or credit union and not pay a fee. Okay, so that's good to know. I didn't know that. Does your bank count coins for free? It sounds like they do. So I would check your local bank or credit union, say, hey, I've got a truckload full of coins. Would you count them for free? And see what they say. You better up. Like, what are you going to do with them? They're going to be obsolete for sure. At some point in time, I don't know about in our lifetime, but at some point in time, they're going to be obsolete. So today they're worth money. Tomorrow they may not be, just like Beanie Babies. They were worth a lot of money over here, but now over here, you see them at yard sales and people give them away free if you buy something. So that's what coins are going to be, I'm thinking. Okay, let's see. He says a lot of people probably have hidden coins stashed around their homes. I agree with that. Oh, you can also at Coinstar, if you have a Coinstar near you, sometimes they let you exchange them for gift cards too, instead of if you don't want the money. I'd take the money. Let's see. We've been much slower than parts of Europe and Asia to adopt mobile payments and contactless credit cards. Uh, the pandemic delivered a timely reminder of how much we still rely on cash. I like cash. It froze the whole system. Da, da, da. Okay, so let's see. Even though the president has instructed the mint to stop making pennies, some voices have urged America to stop using them. The Common Sense Act, introduced on April 30th by a bipartisan group of lawmakers, would round cash transactions to the nearest 5 cents. That's what I was wondering. I'm wondering, like, what happens if your total comes out to $20.91? What is going to happen? So you're getting rounded up. Well, right there, you're losing 4 cents. You're paying 4 cents more than you should be paying. And the penny is outdated and inefficient and no longer serves the needs of our economy, according to Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, the New York Democrat. But the bill could push the nation down a slippery slope. So you want to get rid of the penny. New York Times put that out. Do you have a plan for the nickel? And nixing the penny creates new problems. If America rids itself of pennies, the Times say that the nation will soon find itself flooded with nickels. I don't know. There's a lot going on here. But if you go down another rabbit hole, see wheat pennies, some of those are worth money. There are some pennies that are worth money. Go get your coins graded. I don't know, dude. Do something with your coins, though. Do something. Don't keep holding on to them because at one point, they really aren't going to be worth anything. All right. Hi, Sylvain. How are you? Welcome to the craziness. Welcome to the craziness. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Steve Perry. We're going to go ahead and we're going to dive in and see where our auctions lie today on June 8th of 2025. Let's see where, some of these items, we won't go through everything because there's what, over 50. So we'll see where some of the items are at right now in terms of price. Let's see. Can you see that? Can you see it? Yes, you can. So, auctions. Let's go to auctions. All right, here we go. So, Don't Stop Believin' handwritten lyrics. It's up to $10,100. 5 days left. These are ending on June 13th, guys. So, if you do want to bid, you got to go and bid. Foolish Heart only at 4,000. Wow, that's kind of sad. What did I say about Faithfully? What did I say? Oh my, anyone? Oh, I have not looked at this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Faithfully handwritten lyrics up to $112,000. I knew it was going to be more than Don't Stop Believin'. I knew it. I mean, the auction's not over. We got 5 days to go, but holy crap. Holy crap. $112,000, 55 bids. Oh my gosh. Wow. 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 I know Don't Stop Believin' is an anthem. I said that the other day, but Faithfully, oh my gosh. Wow. And these they pale in comparison. They're Journey, 1983 Frontiers Tour book signed, 2100. Test pressing of Journey's greatest hits, 1325. Oh my gosh. Wow. Escape, test pressing, $1,000. Test pressing, greatest hits 2, 875. Well, these are still kind of attainable. Wow. I wonder if it'll really go for that much. Holy crap. Holy crap. So these, wow, still doable. Still doable here. Look at this greatest hits signed vinyl. Greatest Hits 2, $800. So you guys can still get in on something, it seems, for, I mean, reasonable as reasonable can be. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And there you go. That's the highest. So where's all the other stuff, though? Oh, so do we go over here? Apparel? Sold out, sold out, sold out. But, like, were these signed or no? These are just vintage T-shirts. They're all sold out. I would have liked one of those. I mean, you can't go wrong with a vintage T-shirt. So those are all sold out. Okay, so where are all the other items, though? That's what I'm curious about. Don't we have pages? And we should have pages. Is that 50 items? Maybe? I don't think so. Well, there you go. I really want to know where all the other stuff. Where's all the other stuff? Did it end? I'm confused. I don't know, but that's crazy. 112,000 for faithfully handwritten lyrics. That's great. We're gonna keep watching that. We're gonna keep watching that. That's cool. That's super, super cool. All right, let's play a little interview of Steve because I like doing this now. Let's go over here. And this is from, I guess he was on Sirius XM. And let's go. Let's listen. Oh, wait. No, I can't because I have the thing. Hold on, hold on, hold on. No. Let's do this. Okay, ready? Go.
Did you like the use of the song "Don't Stop Believing" for the final scene of The Sopranos? Why or why not?
There's a story behind that. The songwriters of that song is Neil Sean, myself, and Jonathan Cain. And they had both agreed that it was fine with them, sight unseen, if they want to use it. I kind of held out because as a songwriter, we all have to agree, by the way. That's the way songwriting kind of goes with sub-licensing. And I kind of held out. The reason I held out was I really didn't want to see a Scorsese moment where everybody gets whacked with this song playing. Scorsese would do that, right? He plays these amazing songs while everybody's getting mowed down. So there was rumor that somebody in the Soprano family was going to get it, and I didn't know because David Chase wasn't talking. And so I told the girl who does my sub-licensing that unless I get a little bit more information, I really don't feel comfortable saying go ahead. So I held out, and I held out for weeks. And come Thursday before the airing on Sunday, they finally called at 4:30 California time and said, okay, this is what happens, but he has to swear he won't tell nobody. So and I don't care, I promise, So they told me what happened. They told me the whole thing, the dialing, looking at putting the quarter in, the whole thing. They did not tell me it goes to black. They didn't tell me that. That's okay. At least nobody got whacked. But, I loved the way it was used. I really did. Because what happened was, he sits here and he thumbs through this little jukebox by the table, and I think it's a heart song. And then it goes and it says, oh, it's a Journey song. And then I think you see a Tony Bennett song. And then they cut back
Well,
to
you paid very close attention.
Right. Then it cuts back to him tight, and he reaches his pocket, and he gets a quarter, and they cut to the machine, he pops it in, he pushes a couple of numbers, and they cut back to him, and he's just looking around. All of a sudden, Don't Stop Believing starts. And what it says is, oh my God, he loves Journey. He just passed on Tony Bennett. So it was really an affirmation and a surprise.
That's so funny. He really loves Journey. Of course he doesn't love Journey. Come on now. Come on now. So yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about quickly what was number one. And actually, what were the top 10 songs on this day, June 8th of 1980. Isn't that nuts? This is what we were listening to on the radio on this day in 1980, which, oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. At number 10, "Oh, little genie, you got so much love." Little Genie by Elton John. Remember that one? Here in my car, I feel safest of all. And the only way to live in cars. Dun, dun, dun. Cars by Gary Newman. Hurts So Bad, Linda Ronstadt. At number 7 was Against the Wind by Bob Seger. Number 6, The Rose by Bette Midler. Call me, call me anytime. Call Me by Blondie was at number 5. That went down a notch or two. And at number 4, Don't Fall in Love with a Dreamer by Kenny Rogers and Kim Carnes with Kim Carnes. At number 3, The Biggest Part of Me by Ambrosia. Love Ambrosia. And at number 2, coming up live at Glasgow, Paul McCartney and Wings. And at number 1, Funky Town by Lips. Lips Inc. Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town? I feel like we did this already, but you know what? Hey, it's the same as it was a few weeks ago. So I think Funky Town has been number 1 for a little bit, but whatever. What are you going to do? Guys, I hope you have yourselves a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much for, showing some love, stopping by. Again, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, you like these live shows once a week, hearing about entertainment news, music news, go ahead, hit the subscribe button down below. Please hit the like button. I totally appreciate it. Costs you nothing. And also, please enjoy our free app in the App Store of Kiki.fm, offering you the greatest in classic rock and classic hits 24/7. Al is constantly updating music, even though he doesn't have to, but he's always adding new stuff in. I'm like, dude, I haven't heard that song in like forever. And he goes, yeah, I just put that in. So, go ahead, give it a listen. And guys, have yourself a really great week ahead. I will see you soon. And I love you, love you, love you. Mwah. And again, I will see you soon. Bye, guys. Thank you. Love you.